for an afternoon hunt. Good night alive, it's hot out here. Man, I'm smoking hot. Sweat just dripping off of me. Saw a lot of deer on this acorn tree this morning, so we're going to give it another set for the afternoon hunt. Maybe something bigger will come by. Wish me luck. I got up in my tree a while ago. I set up for the thermal shift. Head of a holler right over there. It's going to suck my scent down into that hollow. Problem is I didn't have a shot nowhere. So I'm going to push my luck with the wind situation. I'm probably going to get winded sitting here. But it don't do no good setting a spot if you can't get a shot on a deer. So this is my last afternoon. If I get busted, I get busted. Oh well. Deer comes in, I at least want to be able to shoot it if it's one I want to shoot. I don't want to just sit and watch him through the brush. So I got down, I made a move, and man, I swear I'm wringing wet with sweat. It is so hot. I think you got to be part lunatic to be out here in the woods this time of year trying to kill a deer. But we having fun.
I think the squirrel says it's hot too, because he ain't doing a whole lot of moving. All he's doing is laying on that limb staring at me. About to drive me crazy. That's right.
Get on out of here, I'm tired of you looking at me. Dang, you sat there for 40 minutes staring at me. I'm tired of that. Go on. That cotton picking squirrel was about 10 feet from me for 40 minutes. Staring at me, just staring me down. I slowly got the boat, moved all the way up and got him on camera. I don't know what that squirrel thinks I was, but my dadgum butt was getting sore, sitting still so long. Just run him off. I got about maybe 5-10 minutes of light left. I don't know if anything will come in or not. I'm about ready to come down and call it. I give it about 10 minutes. Well, that same buck that came in this morning was coming back up to this tree right over there in that draw, right where the thermals is pulling my scent down. And he was about 50 yards. And he busted me, smelt me. He's over on that ridge right now. He ain't real convinced yet. He may still try to come over here. I ain't gonna shoot him anyway. Well, I saw that buck coming back up here. And he locked up, he turned, went back the other way. I thought he smelt me. And I'm beginning to think he was spooked by the turkey over there. Anyway, he turned and went the other way, regardless.
About how many ticks you think you got off of him?
About 500 that first day.
That ain't too good. So tell me about your trip so far.
Yeah.
Today was the best day, obviously. You saw deer.
Yeah. Been hot. That's the main thing.
Miserably hot.
Oh yeah.
Tick infested.
Yeah.
Skeeters eat you alive.
Yeah. Yellow jackets.
Yellow jackets. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
You had fun, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
How many points that buck have today? That
8.
he's 8 points, still in velvet.
Yeah, full velvet.
Well, tell me about your hunt today, because that's the only one that was basically a success.
Well, I went to the same spot I did this morning, except I went down the creek bank a little bit further, where closer to them rubs and closer to that cornfield. Climbed the only tree I could climb, but it was so thick in there. The canopy, I couldn't see past 5 yards. Pretty much just straight down. So I was like, screw this. So I got down, went and climbed in the ditch and sat my climber kind of like a stool so I could sit on it. I just sat there in that ditch where a bunch of trails, I guess, intercrossed right there in that drainage coming down that hill. Sat there. I can't remember what time it was, but first a doe and a mama came down the hill from where that field was heading, well, they turned and went towards that cornfield. And then it was probably, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour later, I was just sitting there kind of glassing back towards that cornfield. I kind of heard some rustling behind me, so I kind of turned around and was looking, and all of a sudden I just seen a deer kind of trotting down the hill coming right at me. So I already had my hand kind of relaxed on the bow, so I kind of was starting to turn around with it, and the buck, it was a buck came in running about 5 yards from me and seen me sitting in the ditch, and it jumped back to about 10 yards or so, stood there for a second and just kind of looked around, didn't see nothing or anything, and then just kind of moseyed on off, just walking parallel around me down that creek.
Crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. Oh, if it was Alabama deer, that thing would have blown 1,800 times.
I did the same thing. I got up in a tree. I set up for the thermals to pull my scent down in a draw. And then I decided I couldn't get a shot at the acre tree. So I got down and went over and got in a tree that I could actually get a shot. And that buck, he come right up that draw, checking them thermals. And I thought he smelt me. He just locked up. And he just turned and just walked back the other way. He didn't ever really spook or anything. He just walked off.
Yeah.
And then later I seen turkey up. I don't know if it was he smelt me, because them thermals were pulling that scent right down into that draw.
Yeah.
But he's kind of on the other side of the draw, so he may not have got into my scent stream yet. But if he'd have continued on, he probably would have busted me regardless. But
Oh yeah, especially their eyesight.
either the turkeys or my scent got him. That's it for the most part. Had a little encounter with a squirrel. Me and him had a stare off for 40 minutes. About maybe 10 feet from me. He just sat there stared at me. I sat there so long, my butt was getting numb. And I moved so slow, I got my bow out of my bow holder, up into my lap, angled up above my head where he was looking down at me, and got him on film. He sat there that long, just watching me. I don't know what he thought I was, but That was quite a challenge to pull that off
Yeah.
without making that squirrel
I start
ticked off
barking
at you and
and-
barking. Then I just stood up. Once I had enough of him, he took off. I just stood up with him and run him off. He didn't even bark a couple of times, just ran off. Pretty good trip.
Yep.
3 days, both of us were on deer, both of us had
Right.
deer within bow range. I'd say that's a success.
Yeah.
Both
Especially
of us
this
had
time of year.
bucks.
Yeah, especially this time of year, because it ain't like they're chasing does or
No,
anything like that. You're
this
either
is
on
this
them
is
or
hard
not.
core hunting right here, to go in blind in a place you never been to, scout, set up, and be within bow range of a buck deer. Well, we're calling it a hunt. This hunt is in the books.